The 1950s was considered to be the golden era for automobiles. There was a time where tailfins, large radio antennas, and flowing car bodies hit the market. Those were primarily exclusive to family and luxury cars. In this video, I tried to create a Roadster in that time period where styling was simple yet elegant and you had a fairly powerful engine to a certain extent. Hey guys, it's TRIZE here and let's get on with our build. So with the panel material of this here Roadster car body that we got here, which pretty much be like the C1 Corvette of the late 50s, so a fiberglass type of panel material, I'll probably maybe choose a ladder frame type of chassis made out of just regular old steel. With the engine placement, good old front longitudinal with the front suspension, let's see here. Maybe solid axle coil up front? Maybe solid axles front and the rear. I'll think about this. So for the engine, it's going to be a V90 V8 engine, probably do cast iron. And with the bore, let's make this quite small to a certain extent, maybe like a 78 millimeters for the bore and lower the stroke quite a bit up in here. You know what, 78 millimeters, let's make a square engine. So 78 millimeters for the bore and stroke, which gets the engine size to 2,982 cubic centimeters, or about 3 liters, with a good old push rod headers made out of cast iron also. For the crank comm rods and pistons and the balancing mass, add flat plane, a little bit too extreme for right now. So let's do pretty much cast for now, and maybe harmonic damper in case the engine, like the crankshaft, does fail. Now for the compression, since it's an old engine, might as well lower this down to maybe like an 8.0 to 1, 7.7 for now. This will adjust this later. And the RPM, let's set this to maybe 5,500 RPM. And right away, since the 1950s, so carburetor it is, so 4-barrel single? Let's see. A 4-barrel single with a standard mid-intake. Let's see. Oh my god, that's a big boy, alright. With the fuel type, since we're in the 50s, like I said, and like you see, let's just do regular leaded fuel, an 87 AKI compared to the 86 AKI, or AKI if you're using unleaded fuel. So for the headers, let's probably do cast mid headers with a dual exhaust size 2.25 inches, reverse flow, and a none for the second one, and 120 horsepower. We could probably improve on that. Okay, so we got room in the compression. I might as well increase just maybe an 8.3 to 1 ratio, maybe 8.2 to 1 ratio. And the cam profile, let's see, you're probably raised up a little bit up in here, maybe at like a 50 would do. Alright, so I did by tuning with the engine up in here, so recall this engine final of a horsepower rating of exactly 133 horsepower at 5,400 RPM, and a torque rating of 140.1 pounds-feet of torque at 4,300 RPM. So it's somewhat powerful to a certain extent, especially with a V8 engine, which pretty much like everyone made V8 engines back in the 50s, 40s, and all that stuff. Either that or the inline-6 engine, where Americans called it as the Slant 6. So let's give you a brief list into what this lower-ring V8 sounds like right now. Well, it pretty much sounds like your average 50s engine. I'll probably give you that. Now, continue this car build, and oh my god, this suspension setup that we gotta go with here. I'm thinking lower this with the advanced trim settings, which will probably do that in a little bit. So for the drive type, continuing the rest of the build this car, the drive type will be rear-wheel drive with a manual 3-speed, I guess. But the top speed set, 132 miles an hour. Probably do 120 just to be, 121 just to be safe than sorry. And for the tires right here, what do the radios look like? We'll probably choose radio hard long life. Okay, they're still, okay, they haven't changed. What does a cross-ply hard long life look like? Well, let me see what a real Roadster looks like, a 50s Roadster in terms of the tires. So looking at a BMW 507 right here, it seems like they use radial tires, it looks like, from the pattern. So choose the radial type of tire type, and with the tire size, I might probably do 175s front and back maybe, and add some 16-inch rims, and let's do the brakes. So front brakes, of course, drum brakes, it's the 50s. What else do you expect? Same thing for the rear, a single shoe drum brake. Increases quite a bit, lower the brake force percentage just a little bit, and for the aerodynamics at the under tray, who needs one anyways? None for the under tray, the brake airflow, 10 will do. And for the interior, I will build an interior for this build, seeing I haven't built one in quite a while in my videos. So what's the difference between a detachable and a manual soft top? Well, let's say, no. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I might as well just do manual soft top with the interior setting. It'll be more of a premium setting. I'll just probably do premium interior and phonograph. Oh no, premium AM radio. And a driver and safety aids, pretty much the typical manual racket pinions steering with the safety standards, just standard 1950s, I guess. And finally, for the suspension that we got going here, this ballin' ass suspension, so standard springs, standard everything, 22 dampers, press sway bars, and we got oversteer. That is not good. Right? Yep, still not good. And first things first, let's maybe change the suspension, or do I have to just maybe lower it with the advanced trim setting? It's been a while since I made like a 50s car or something old as like what I got here. You know, let's start off with the suspension. I'm going to change this up to a double wishbone only for the front and keep it at a solid axle in the rear. And in terms of the steering, made it worse, and wow, it weighs less than a ton at 1977 pounds, damn. And it's considered a supercar, that nice 0 to 60 at 8.5 seconds, it's nice. And making this a 4-speed drops down to 8 seconds now. I'll just keep it at 4-speed compared to a 3-speed like I did earlier. Okay, here we go. Now the suspension has dropped big time up in here. But unfortunately, we still got the oversteer issue, which I'll might as well change up the tires. So I can't really think of anything else to reduce the oversteer. It's probably just like an automation issue because I don't want to make this all goofy by putting like some really small tires and thick ones up front, which would do something like that. Yeah, because I don't want like some skinny front tires and thick back ones to combat the oversteering issue that we got going here with this car. So I'll just go back to, what was it, 175s front and back? Where was I? Alright, 165s. 165s will be final for the front and back tires. So might as well just do it right now by designing this here car as is with a time lapse that I'll show you right here. I'll design the entire exterior of this car as well as the interior right up here, just like a basic interior, and drive this car in BeamNG.drive. So let's commence the time-lapse portion of the video right now. So for the design of this car, I've struggled with this one for quite a while, seeing that I haven't built an older model car in quite a long time. For the front, I cycled through some circular headlights to match up like every car was like back in the 50s. I end up choosing these headlights with the chrome pieces extruded from the body. I then tried to add a preset grille, which didn't work out for this car, so I added this custom semi-elliptical grille setup with a bunch of chrome bars inside of the grille. I then added some detailing with the grille by adding like 40 separate chrome trim pieces that go around the entire perimeter of the grille, which took like 20 minutes to get in check, which includes readjusting some trim pieces with the angle and placement for each one of them. After designing the custom grille, I decided to add this long hood scoop with a skinny chrome trim piece that runs through the front edge of the scoop to the end of the hood, along with adding the front manufacturer's name by wrapping up the front end design of the car. For the sides, I tried to loosely mock up to what a BMW 507 has with this little side vent. It took me some time to come up with what fixture I want to go on the side. So I picked this little vent fixture which looks similar to what a 507 has. It has like little like 3 or 4 fins with this little vent fixture in the vents tab or something like that. Going towards the back, I added a set of brake lights and turn indicators below them. Also, I didn't add any reverse lights because some cars didn't come with any reverse lights whatsoever in this time period. Capping off the rear end, I added the California's old license plate, the car's branding, and a single exhaust pipe. Now for the interior, I decided to use this old school interior mod fixture pack, which you can check that out in the Automation Steam workshop that has a bunch of the old dashboards, clocks, seats, door cards, and all that stuff. Since the car is small with the chassis being set so high, I struggle with putting in the seats and the dash and all the other fixtures. I end up shrinking everything down so I can fit everything I need inside. So after getting everything done with this build, here's what it came out. This is the 1958 Mons R300. This sporty roadster is like what all roadsters were like back in the 50s. A small V8 engine, chrome fixtures, a bright colored interior, and all that good stuff. Alrighty, so this entire car is completely built from the outside and the inside of this here Roadster. So anyways, with this car, before exporting this to BeamNG.drive, despite these problems that we got going here, such as the car having strong oversteering, it terminally oversteers, some brake fade issues, the front tires being quite wide, a lack of power steering, the clearance inside the engine being quite narrow, and some unutilized fuel octane. Let's jump on over to BeamNG.drive and test this little car out. So here we are at the map of West Coast USA with this car already in place here. This camera angle, why is it setting so high up in here? I mean, we gotta be like down here to drive the car. So anyways, despite this camera angle, let's get ready for a basic performance test by starting off with the 0 to 62 performance test, followed by the 62 to 0 brake test, and finally a top speed run with this vehicle. And look, there's another Mons R300. Hello, my fellow Roadster. Why is it scraping at the exhaust? Is it something like a problem with the exhaust nodes or something? Let me see here. Oh, what the? Why is this node on the ground? Oh, I cured the problem. Alright, get ready to start the 0 to 62 in 3, 2, 1, gun it. No traction control, and the exhaust is pointing towards the frickin' sky. Get out of my way, officer. So 0 to 62 in 7.66 seconds of 424.52 feet. Screw the cops, F the police, come straight for the underground. A young person, because I'm back, because I'm brown. Alright, so the cops are way back there. 62 to 0, commence. No ABS brakes, so we're going to be skidding out of control with a 62 to 0 in 3.35 seconds of 141.68 feet. So with a car with no ABS brakes, that seems halfway decent in terms of time and distance and sliding out of control. So for a top speed run, or in effect, we get a much worse 0 to 62, and pretty much what automation calculated on 8.53 seconds of 467.77 feet. Screw the Wendover cop and the van cop and the blue book. So currently we're at top speed. There goes another Mons freaking R300, and we're going to be reaching top speed pretty much at the exit sign just up ahead, and we reach its top speed. Already, we reach its top speed before the exit dead ahead. And to celebrate my top speed run being a success, let's crash into here by slowing the camera down, the simulation, and getting a camera. So dead square ahead, in front of gantry, 60 times slow-mo, go. Oh my god, there goes all the fixtures. If you're the driver, you'll be in this position right here as the seat goes flying and the cop doesn't know if he should continue pursuit or not. So here's the car, full time. Nope, he's gonna continue pursuit as I just lie here helplessly. You got busted, speeding and racing. You could drive away now. I am unable to drive away because you can see here, the car is inside the post of the gantry with the brake lights stuck on, and the car a heap of mess that you see in the scrap yard with these two tires touching each other and all that. So right now, let's do a time trial run to see the true capabilities of being on a track. So here we are at the bottom map that I downloaded off the BeamNG forums, I believe, of Circuit de Monaco, aka the Formula 1 track of the Monaco Grand Prix. So we're going to be doing only one lap with a rolling start around this street circuit. So let's get ready to start this off with some of the UI in place. Will it still go? Alright, ready? Go. Wheel spin we go, and it was pretty much just a glitch or something like that of how, like, the torque graph and the brake temperatures just popped into place. And it's going to be annoying with this little exhaust node grinding on the ground. Let's brake. Ooh. How about the cornering as it says? Oversteering. Well, we lost the back bumper. The front left is damaged. Damn. I mean, that wasn't that hard of a hit, and we got a huge dent on the front left side of the car. You know, let's make this a clean run. I might as well just play, like, time trials, like, clean and stuff like that, so there's no, like, real damage to the car. Okay, here's the oversteering. Here's the oversteering. But it's controllable, but it's not as bad. Maybe it is. Maybe it is a little bad, but the transmission is kind of bad. Let's go to realistic gearbox and let me do the shifting and me do the timid braking. Now, see with the time trial runs, it's better off doing these all clean and stuff like that, so I have, like, no mistakes whatsoever, no sort of damage or no sort of screw-ups with this car, or pretty much any car in any time trial. So, like, if I, like, kind of like what I did, where I spanked the back end of the car and had some front left, like, body damage, and then wanted to, like, auto steer or something like that, where the car's alignment is all poor and everything, and, whew, some brutal-ass braking. I would say I didn't want, like, the handle to be all poor to the point where the time trial run will be completely flawed. Alright, so here's the final straightaway. So pretty much like a brief review of this car driving around this track. I'd say it's alright. So 2 minutes 22 seconds, 844 milliseconds is our time around Monaco. So let's go to free roam, crash straight ahead into the barriers as is. Nope. Slow motion whatsoever, as all of these pieces, good to see doing some Beyblade Let It Rip stuff. And are these my grilled trim pieces that just exploded into a shower of shrapnel? I think these are. I'm about to say with the car, the car oversteers quite a bit as automation calculated and predicted, and the brakes seems a little too strong. I mean, like 50-60% power, they were locking up like pretty good up in here, unfortunately. It's pretty much the Roadster from hell that's actively trying to kill you on a racetrack or on the streets. So anyways, for the final part of this video, let's jump on over to Leap and Death. We're going to simply drop this car off and pretty much let this historical car go down the drain. So let's take it to the top of the map, right? Oh, okay, do it right now. So here we are spawned in. Let's accelerate very slowly in the dirt as we go to second gear into third gear. No, second gear at 57 miles an hour for our exit speed at the top of the ramp as camera goes stupid because you just can't do that. Engine start of oil and stop roof impact at 224 miles an hour. Let's slow this down to 8 times and resume physics. Maybe that's a little too strong, so 2 times full time. I thought that little like slit thingy of the cliff face would do something, but it didn't. So engine is broken. There goes all the fixtures. Let's just leave it go. Let's let it go. Damn, that's a brutal hit. So 2 hits right there off the cliff face, and prepare to splash in the pond. Splash. No resistance. Spank ourselves at the bed of the pool just like that. The engine's doing some ninjutsu stuff, and let's find some flat land and take a look at this car. Alright, so here we are at flat land as I node grab the hell out of this car with this corner right here. So the car, well, as you've seen going down the cliff and all that good stuff, like you seen with the very first crash of West Coast USA, it's a scrap pile of metal that's completely unrecognizable with the engine. Looks like it's in, what the heck, pretty healthy shape up in here with the bottle and everything, with the engine still pretty much intact. I mean, the carburetor looks okay, the headers, the oil pan. I mean, the oil pan looks, I think that's just how it naturally is, and this is the exhaust that's like messed up here. I think those are the exhaust pipes that leads from the headers to exhaust pipes. So mostly everything, oh yeah, the oil pan is deformed, but mostly everything at the engine is pretty healthy. The car, not so much. So that'll do it with automation and BeamNG.drive with the Mons R300. So for the styling of this Roadster, it's pretty much like all cars were like back in the 50s. You got chrome fixtures everywhere you see on this car, from the bumpers, headlights, taillights, the antenna, the grille, and so much more. And for the interior with the dark red leather accents, it also sums up what most cars were like back in the day with the insides of them. For the handling, it's quite jank as what automation predicted, with the tire setup as it oversteers only when you snap the wheel to the left or right. However, the performance ain't that bad for a 3-liter V8 making 133 horsepower. At least that's the only good thing about this car. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future. So this is TRIZE rising up and signing out.